And here I am. Here I am.
Yes, I got you. Do you hear me?
Yep, I do.
Very good.
Thank you. Yep.
Slating. Slating.
Hello, one and all. Glad to have you joining us for Red Barn Radio. I'm Bradford Becker. Tonight, we continue in our 22nd season of Red Barn Radio, and we welcome you to show number 834. Our guest this evening on Red Barn Radio is Cody Lee Meece and the Poor Excuses. Cody Lee Meece writes songs. Let me start that again, sorry. Cody Lee Meece writes songs in Red Barn Radio tonight.
Hey, hey, hey.
Hey.
Glad to be here. Yeah, it's been a while. I was here in, I guess it was 2019. And then also in 2019 with Pearlie Jenkins, both Daniel and I. And so, yeah, this is time number 3, so thanks for having us back. I figured we were kicked out by now. Well, let's get started with one. It was a song I wrote, I guess, a couple years ago now called Cocaine and Wine. Cocaine and wine, do what I need you to, because I'm weathered from storms this old world's put me through. I never was one to swim, so in the shallows I stay. I can't tell if you're helping or if you're the reason I'm feeling this way. I do the average man's worst whenever I try my best, and I'm blessed as a curse that hurts all the rest. And now the cheese stands alone with his head in his hands, and nothing to blame but the small bit of ground where the poor bastard stands. I don't want your pity for my faults, or your reminders I can change. I've been pulling hard on these old bootstraps all my life. Knock the dust off of my body just to give it one more try and be the living definition of being insane. On the day that I die, I'll let the crow sing my song, 'cause after all it was him that helped me along as he laughed me to sleep and the sun hit my face. I fell to the floor, 'cause for me there's no more familiar place. The clock hands in time, oh, what a pure thing to waste. and like a bottle run dry. Yeah, I remember the taste when my sandglass is empty and my world race is run. And come on, friend, listen, just get to digging, no need to say much. I don't want your pity for my faults, your reminders I can change. I've been pulling hard on these old bootstraps all my life. Knock the dust off of my body just to give it one more try and be the living definition of being insane. Oh! Don't want your pity for my faults, your reminders I can change. I've been pulling hard on these old bootstraps all my life. Knock the dust off of my body just to give it that good old college try and be the living definition of being insane. So cocaine and wine, do what I need you to, because I'm weathered from storms the soul world's put me through. I never was one to swim, so in the shallows I stay. I can't tell if you're helping or if you're the reason I'm feeling this way. Can't tell if you're helping or if it's the seasons that make me feel this way.
Good evening and welcome to Red Barn Radio. Wherever in the world you're listening, welcome to Roots Music Southern Style. Thanks to WEKU, Red Barn Radio's official radio partner, NPR for Central and Eastern Kentucky. Listen online at weku.org. Red Barn Radio is supported by Visit Lex, Lexington, Kentucky's Convention and Visitors Bureau. More information on what Lexington has to offer is at visitlex.com. LexArts, Lexington, Kentucky's premier cultural development, advocacy, and fundraising organization, working for the development of a strong and vibrant arts community as a means of enhancing the quality of life in Central Kentucky. Follow Red Barn Radio on Twitter and like us on Facebook. Here's the host of Red Barn Radio to tell us more about tonight's performers.
Many of you tuned in this evening have heard our guest, Cody Lee Meece, playing solo here and there. Tonight he's joined by his motley band, The Poor Excuses. The Poor Excuses are based out of Somerset, Kentucky, where they're often seen paving the way and shining the torch for other up-and-coming musicians and bands that look up to them. Backing up Cody Lee Meece, The Poor Excuses are Daniel Stroud, Logan Henry, and Justin Harris. Welcome, Cody Lee Meece and The Poor Excuses.
Howdy, howdy. This next song I wrote after a day that me and Daniel spent working on his van. It had been a pretty good day, really nice day. It was hot that day, but we get back to Somerset from Monticello, and I go home, and we're gonna meet the Jarfly Brewing Company. We're gonna just hang out for a while, maybe play some music, and I said, well, he dropped me off at the house. I said, well, I'll meet you down there in a minute, you know. So I get a shower and I change clothes, and I grab my acoustic guitar and I'm getting ready to walk down there. It's only like 4 blocks, and as soon as I touched the doorknob to go out the front door, this song just slapped me in the brain, and it was based off of a wild run-in on YouTube that I had with a video of a cruise ship sinking. And just something about watching that, it freaked me out, made my spine all tingly, and you know, I didn't know I had a phobia of that. So anyway, when I touched that doorknob, I started writing this song essentially about this silly fear of boats, and I couldn't help but write it, so here it goes. It's called Get Me Out of This Place. Yeah, well, I reckon there's a reason that I got a fascination with boats. Yeah, I'm just waiting on my ship to sail into port and take me home. I'm guessing that the satisfaction that I get from staring at planes is just me waiting on that thing to get me out of here before I go insane. Get me out of this place. Won't you carry me home? Yeah, 'cause I just ain't never been to anywhere I feel I belong. When I just don't understand, oh, I'm feeling so down. Yeah, oh, just what it is that keeps this fool hanging around. Yeah, I've been known to do some burning tires in them old cars. Yeah, but no matter how I try, them wheels, they don't get me too far. Yeah, I've been known to hum a little tune with that old train. Me and that old locomotive, well, I reckon we both feel the same. Get me out of this place. Oh, won't you carry me home? Yeah, 'cause I just ain't never been to anywhere I feel I belong. And I just don't understand. Oh, I'm feeling so down. Yeah, oh, just what it is in this world. Is it booze, is it money, is it that old girl that keeps this old fool hanging? Keeps me hanging, keeps me hanging around. Get me out of this place. Oh, won't you carry me home? Yeah, 'cause I just ain't never been to anywhere I feel I belong. When I just don't understand, oh, I'm feeling so down. Yeah, oh, just what it is that keeps this fool hanging around. just what it is that keeps this fool hanging around. Hey, thank you. Yeah, and as well as the electric guitar, if I can get some more of it. Probably both. Yeah, that's good. And then. Can I get a little more of my guitar there? Doo-doo. I think we're good. Is everybody good? You good? Okay, cool. This next song is a song I wrote after a gift a friend of mine, Joe Dobbs, had gave me years ago. And it was just something that was near and dear to my heart. And it's just one way or another had kind of inspired me to create, which is neat. And so thanks to Joe. And I think I've still got that somewhere, but I don't know. I'd have to look when I get home. Anywho, it's called Sunshine Daydream. My baby's like sunshine, daydream, Lord, she always seems to brighten my day. Lord, he knows I need her, and you know I never leave her, and I hope she's coming home to stay. Well, I got out one day and got looking around, and what I found brought me to my knees. Well, the finest little girl in the whole damn world these eyes have ever seen. Lord, in love, love, love. Ever since you come around, honey, I can't get enough. Lord, you just bleed me dry. 'Cause if you took your love from me, oh Lord, I'd surely die. Lord, I'd surely die. My baby, she's a Cadillac Jack. As a matter of fact, don't even look her way. 'Cause if I catch a fella looking to taste my baby's cooking, I'ma sure make a mess of this place. She's like a prize from the sky where the angels fly, and she ain't going home alone. Now she's coming with me, and you better believe we got a good thing going on. Good Lord, in love, love, love. Ever since you come around, honey, I can't get enough. Lord, you just bleed me dry. 'Cause if you took your love from me, I'd surely die. Woo! Lord, I'd surely die. Yep! But I don't know what I'd do if that woman ever found the way to that front door. Lord, and I don't know what I'd do if the woman ever found a reason not to love me no more. Lord, and I don't know what I'd do if the woman ever quit pulling on the end of my sleeve. Lord, and I don't know what I'd do if the woman ever found the nerve to up and leave. Good Lord, in love, love, love. Ever since you come around, honey, I can get enough, Lordy, just bleed me dry. Then you took your love from me. Surely die. Lord, I'd surely die. Oh, Lord, I'd surely die. Lord, I'd surely die. Hey, thank you. Appreciate that. This next song is kind of this is another funny how I came about here. This next one's called Susanna. I wrote this after watching B. Taylor upstairs at Jarfly, probably I guess last year sometime. And B was, if you're not familiar with B, she's a great songwriter and entertainer. Her and the band are just phenomenal. But as a great writer, you know, I can't help, you know, she's a great writer. I want to know more. What are you writing? What are you working on? What are you creating? Because that inspires me. I love hearing other songwriters that are really good do cool stuff. And so she was telling this story about a song before she let in to play it, about how she was originally from Texas and all this, and Texas is my favorite place I've ever been. So it just got me thinking, you know, in that way. And so I tore off a corner of a piece of paper there upstairs at Jarfly, and I wrote a note to myself for later, and all it said was, I want to write a song about Texas. And so I get in my jacket the next day, and I'm like, what the hell's this piece of paper? And it was this note to write a song about Texas. So here we go. This is Susanna. I wanna write a song about Texas and dancing in the rain. Without you, I don't wanna go. It just don't seem to please my soul. It'd just be a waste and shame. So just forget old Colorado and them spaghetti western skies. I'll just drag my ass back home, 'cause all this me alone, it just makes me wanna die. Oh, Susanna, can't you hear me? I'm calling on the phone, but you ain't picking up, and it makes me think you ain't alone. Susanna, I'm just begging you that I'm wrong. I'm on my way back through Missouri, and by way of Oklahoma, got some stops I gotta make, got some shots I gotta take, and I gotta take them on my own. And then it's back home to Kentucky, so I can go back to Cussing Hills. Them flatlands call me to roam, running's all I've ever known, and you make me wanna come home still. Oh, Susanna, can't you hear me? I'm calling on the phone, but you ain't picking up, and it makes me think you ain't alone. Susanna, I'm just begging you that I'm wrong. Woo! Hey, thank you. This last one here is a bit of a different story. I wish it was another funny one, but it's unfortunately a very not funny one. Or perspective is everything, and it is to you. I don't know. Comedy is subjective, right? But if it is funny to you, you're probably a little sick. This song I wrote, my wife and I, we've been together for just over 5 years now. We've been married for just over 3. We just had an anniversary here a while back. And love is probably stronger than ever and getting stronger every day. That being said, I've been a poop head quite my share of times, and in some pretty rough ways. I've not been the best, but I'm reaching for growth every day. And you know, she's been extremely patient and kind and caring, and she's seen the good in me that I've never seen, and nobody ever really told me I had. And so to her, I felt like I owed it to her to tell her story. I mean, honestly, you know, and at least from what I've seen from my side, which is a pretty guilty side to be on at times, but I'm doing better. It's all about putting the milk back. It's more than spilled milk, I promise. Anyway, this next song's called Just Hold the Door. I'm rough and I'm rusty, and most days I'm just a shell. The game of life I've been playing, just who's playing who, it's getting harder to tell. But I find inspiration in each waking breath that we share. Honey, when I fall down, won't you just keep a going and give me some time? I'll be there. Just hold the door, and won't you keep it wide open? I'm trying to get out of the rain. Oh, I never fail to fail you, and I never fail to tell you I'm sorry all over again. And I keep trying harder, and sometimes get farther, but most days just far as the floor. So if you leave me behind, I can't say I blame you, but if you don't mind, hold the door. Your strength and your patience, I've taken them time after time. Oh, and the guilt I've let take me so far in the hole that only your love light could shine. And it don't do justice, said simply as life just ain't fair. Well, honey, when I fall down, won't you just keep a going and give me some time? I'll be there. Just hold the door, and won't you keep it wide open? I'm trying to get out of the rain. Oh, I never fail to fail you, and I never fail to tell you I'm sorry all over again. And I keep trying harder, and sometimes get farther, but most days just far as the floor. So if you leave me behind, I can't say I blame you, but if you don't mind, hold the door. Hey! Just hold the door, and won't you keep it wide open? I'm trying to get out of the rain. can't say I blame you, but if you don't mind, hold the door. I'm rough and I'm rusty, and most days I'm just a shell. Hey, thank you.
All right. Nice tune.
Hey, thank you.
Yeah. Hey, our guest this evening on Red Barn Radio, if you're just tuning in with us, is Cody Lee Meece.
Yellow.
And Cody Lee comes from down by Somerset, Kentucky, actually specifically Eubank, which is is that your birthplace, Cody?
No, what happened? I lost me. Hello, check one. Hello, check one. Hello, hello. Anybody?
Told you about that.
I did it. What did I do?
I mute your monitors during.
Oh yeah, you did it. Hey man, you did. I'm sorry, that one's on me.
It's all right.
No, yeah. Anyway, no, Eubank. No one's ever been born there, probably. I don't think. If so, they probably. Well, anyway, you know, Eubank's a really small place. They just got a stoplight. Before it was just a caution light, and they had that for the longest time. But yeah, it's just it's a stoplight now, which is neat. But I was born in Somerset at Lake Cumberland Regional Hospital, and from what I'm told,
Okay.
from what records say, I'm just the guy.
And what about like your sort of was elementary school in Somerset, or was it like?
It was kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot of stability growing up. I bounced around. I mean, during elementary school, I went to 3 or 4, I guess, elementary schools, and then middle school I went to 2, I think, and then I went to 3 different high schools, all within the same county.
I didn't go to that many elementary schools. I went to a lot of different schools. Yeah, but you know, it wasn't because I had, you know, sort of instability in the family. I just had a father who was, you know, chasing his professional dreams, you know.
Yeah, my dad was chasing something else.
Oh, was he? So yeah. So did you have some trusted adults in your childhood who sort of gave you that gift that keeps on giving, you know, love, encouragement, those kind of things?
Yeah, I was really lucky to have both my grandparents on my dad's side. Should I still talk into this? Is that how?
Yeah, you're
okay,
good.
Yeah. I can't tell how this works. I'm podunk as they can be. I live under a rock,
You're
believe it or
doing
not. But Gary and Betty Meece were my grandparents on my dad's side, and without them, I don't know where I'd have wound up. Also, my Aunt Tammy on my mom's side, and Sheila, and there's a few others, you know, that really done a good job of trying to help bring me up as something other than just a deadbeat. And still in light of that, you know, because of circumstances I was raised around, you know, poverty and, you know, abuse in the home, and, you know, it was a regular episode of Cops. You know, because of that, once I got to adulthood, I started recreating that environment, thinking that was normal and that was what that's your template, right, is whatever you're given. And I just didn't really get lucky on the givens.
So yeah, but so didn't the grandparents kind of help to rewrite that template?
They did the best they could. I mean, they'd already raised 3 kids, and you know, and they were all well grown. Even though one of them still don't really act like it too good. He's out there somewhere, I guess.
We all got a relative like that.
Yeah, he's something. But
This was your mom's. These were your mom's parents.
my dad's parents.
Oh, these were your dad's parents.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and they did the best they could. But they were. I mean, it was I was raised. I didn't relate to none of my friends growing up. I mean, my only understanding of how to be raised was essentially the same style that they used in the 60s and 70s. You know, it's not like I was brought up to date. And so it was. I always kind of gravitated towards people that were older than me. You know, people that were 20 years older than me, because we were kind of raised in the same environment. Even though I'm so much younger, you know, I'm not going to relate to anyone my age. They're not going to. 9 times out of 10, you know, most poverty areas, they're trying to clean them up as quick as they can, I guess. You know, from what I'm told on the news or something. Sure. But you know, that being said, you know, most people that do get to come out of that, it's still never really a sense of feeling belonging, but, you know, thank God Mama and Papa gave me something to chase after anyway. And morals, I mean, I at least got a few of those.
And so what did your grandpa, would you say you were particularly close with your grandpa?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, he was my
cool.
hero.
Oh, all right. Tell us about that. What makes a hero for you?
Nothing good, apparently. No, he was a really interesting guy, and he'd done some time in the '60s for doing some James Dean stuff. Not really out to hurt anybody, just what was wild and silly and no harm kind of fun. What people thought back then, just stealing cars and being silly.
Was he pretty settled by the time he was caring for you, or did he still have that of fun edge to him?
He still did some gambling and some this and that where he could. He always hustled. I mean, he was one of those old fellas. He always worked for cash his whole life, and he had been an auto mechanic and restored GTOs and built engines, and I mean anything with a car, the guy could do it. I mean, he was the Charlie Daniels of the torque wrench, as some would say. But anyway. Who was it said that?
I don't know, but I like it. I'm going to use that.
Yeah, Laidback can tell you. He can remember. But anyway, yeah, I don't know, man.
And what about the music piece? Did that come from Grandpa?
Sort of. He bought a guitar when I was, I guess, 14 or 15. It was an acoustic at a pawn shop for $18, and it was rough. I mean, the strings were this high off the fretboard, and it just wouldn't stay in tune. Was not intonated at all. The nut was made of wood. I mean, it was just terrible. But he remembered two songs he knew from the '60s, which was "Wildwood Flower" and "House of the Rising Sun." And he picked this guitar up on the way home one day, and I seen it, and I noticed him messing around with it. And so finally I was like, hey, man, I want to try that. And he taught me those two songs. He said, if you want to try, you got to learn these two, and then we'll see about getting you a guitar or something.
I love that image of your grandpa holding this old instrument. And so he wasn't really a player. He just
Not
picked
at
it up
all.
and thought, I had to try
I can
this
say
thing.
that now because he can't get me back for it. But he couldn't play worth. He just wasn't real good.
But he had the confidence to dig into a car and fix the car. He probably picked up the guitar and said, maybe it's just like a car. I'll figure it out.
Probably. I think he'd been so hard on his hands by then, too, that, by the time he got of age that I was worth teaching at guitar, he was so old, he'd cut his hands on, everything he'd ever worked with in his hands. He'd about cut a finger in half. I remember when I was like 8 or 10 out there making cedar chests on a table saw. Like the man just, So I'm sure his hands weren't what they were in the 60s, and if he ever was good. But I think he knew more than anything. I don't think he ever really got the guitar for himself. Thinking back since he's been gone, he passed December 26th of 2020. And,
oh, wow.
Since he's been gone, you try to sift through the pieces and the bits of wisdom and the things that happened, after a loved one passes. And part of me will always think that he got that wondering if it would help me, because it did, man. Music saved my life a million times. It's got me in a lot of terrible situations, absolutely, but I allowed him to do that. I allowed music to do that, and but it's saved my life a million times, and I think he knew I needed something to save me, and he just figured a guitar might be it.
Are there any particular things from your grandpa's possessions that you kept that you sort of cherish, hold close to you?
Yeah, I got one of them here.
What is it? What do you got?
It's a 1908 Newfoundland silver 50-cent piece. And he had drilled a hole in it and wore it around a necklace in the 60s. And it was in a cigar box full of Zippos and Zippo parts and watches and watch bands and all that stuff. And I found it. He gave me that cigar box. And so once I went digging through it, I thought, man, somebody needs to bring that back. So I've been carrying it. I've been wearing it now for a few years, I guess, or something. I don't know. Long time. Maybe longer than that. I don't know. I don't really know how long. It's just become a part of my everyday. I don't know.
Yeah.
I try to keep everybody with me all the time. Everything on here, mostly, it's got a backstory. It came from a friend, or it traded hands with someone to get to where it's at. I'm a firm believer in keeping those more sacred things close to you. And I get it that we live in a world anymore where no one's really concerned with such, and it's all just vroom, vroom, and keep going and meet. But, there's still some people in the world that are holding on to things that don't wash away, that don't lose their value ever. They never decay in value. Sentimental things will last you forever, but the world today, man. I'm not going to stand here and act like I have the answers. I'm just a songwriter, but I wish people maybe learn to lighten up and see what's more important instead of chasing some other crazy thing. I don't know. Baffles me.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It seems to me that sentimentality can be pretty healthy and a secure place. Maybe for some, sentimentality is a place that's so secure it makes it difficult for them to move forward, right?
For sure, yeah.
But I'm glad those things give you peace. I have some things like that in my life as well.
Yeah, don't litter, put your shopping cart back, and be good to people. That's really all you got to do, man. Do those three things, and you're going to be fine. Yeah. But you got to start there. having patience with your fellow man, all that stuff is the only way to move forward. I say that way too often, but I'm hoping it catches on eventually.
Huh. Well, it sounds like you believe it. Did you get to a point? So you talked about the sort of disruption in your life as a very young person. Once you got into the high school years and you were, 16, 17, did you discover anything in school that you took to? Did anything happen there that you find is that you hold on to, that you cherish, or not really?
Unfortunately not. No, I wish I could really think of something, but by the time I was 16 or 17, I'd already found my way into alcohol and some substances. And, of course, being raised around it, I thought you're supposed to. How cool you are is by what substances you're doing.
Yeah.
And how many, are you doing all of them? Oh, man, you're real cool. Oh, you're only doing 2 or 3 different things. It's just, that's the wild mentality in poverty areas that you see. It's everybody's racing to the bottom because there's no shot at all of getting to the top. There's no chance, and we know that. The game's rigged against us from the start. I mean, no, it's not designed for poor people to not be poor. They're needed for, well, anyway, I'm not going to get into that because I'm not a political analyst.
You just got into it, man.
I'm just a guy that was born into a bad situation. I've tried to make sense of it ever since,
Yeah. And to what extent then, it sounds like you obviously had to sort of surmount the obstacles
Yeah,
that you were raised with. And
I just started recreating my environment at 16 and 17. I mean, the only thing that I was really interested in school was not being there. And looking back, man, I really wished that I wished that maybe someone could have reached out to me in the way that I needed, but especially in my area at the time, there was no voice for mental health. I mean, it's a very rural area,
right.
so it's very, everybody gets sad, shut up, quit being like, and being a pansy or whatever derogatory term someone can find to get you to hike your bootstraps up a little more. I mean, it's just a crazy world. I mean, you still see that in a lot of places, but I mean, all of that, I just pushed back harder and further, and before I knew it, I couldn't remember much between 16 and 17 and 27, really. I mean, because I spent my whole life running in the dark. I never sat still, and I blew about every chance I could and burned every bridge I crossed because, I thought that's what I was supposed to do. I really did.
But here you are now. I mean, and did you access some resources for yourself to sort of combat some of those sort of demons and the past?
Yeah, well, more than anything, man, it's my friends that have helped me. I mean, I got one sitting over there that I've known for probably more than 10 years now, my buddy Scott. And, that's a guy right there that, as I've run in the darkness and stuff, he was always a good friend. And you find people that believe in you, And sometimes it ain't easy to find those people, but you get lucky sometimes, and I did, And that goes the same with these guys up here, my lovely wife over there.
Yeah.
And a million other people I could put on a list for you. I didn't get here by just accident or happenstance, and I sure as heck didn't do it on my own. It takes a lot of people, and I've just been lucky to meet the right people.
Yeah. Okay. So there's some luck there. Okay, but you've also done some hard work because you play your instrument well. You're a good writer, and so how did you find that anchor? How did you find the strength and the tenacity to practice your instrument and develop your craft?
Nobody ever really told me I couldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I say that jokingly a lot, but really, no one ever told me that there was a limit to how far I could go with this thing or what it could do for me or how I should even use it. I never had lessons. My papa got me started on 2 songs, and from there said, figure it out. And I just took off, and before I knew it, I was spending 8 to 10 hours a day doing it. I stopped hanging out with friends. I wouldn't leave my bedroom to go eat. I finally found something that could take me away from everything, at least mentally.
Yeah.
I was born into just bad situation over and over and over, trauma, and finally I'd found this one thing that I can close my eyes, and if I can figure out how to do this, then all of that disappears and doesn't even matter. And if I get lucky, I never would have foreseen that I could have turned all of those bad instances, or many of them, into stories and songs that now relate to other people. And, when you touch somebody with something so bad and so heavy, you realize that, oh, dang, I'm not the only person that hasn't, that's been through that, or that's done this or done that, and just to know you're not alone in it. Like, okay, well, maybe I can reach a little further, you know. And I didn't ever mean to. I never meant to really get necessarily here. It's just kind of I've been lucky. Well, yet again, I mean, you can call it hard work, but I was having fun the whole time. You know, it's like Jerry Jeff Walker said, I was getting paid to do something I'd be sitting at home doing anyway. So it never really. I mean, there's times anything's gonna feel like work. Tying your shoes is going to feel like a job sometimes, but, I mean, what else am I going to do? What else do I want to do? What else am I going to be fulfilled doing? Just this thing that I was lucky enough to find. I don't know.
You talked about B. Taylor.
Yeah, man.
And, she was on the program and loved her stuff, loved her stories, loved her lyrics. And you also mentioned people like Keith Whitley, who impacted you as a writer. When did you first sort of discover that you had some writing in you? 'Cause that's a whole different this is a whole different territory than working out hammering out parts on your guitar.
I suppose it's one of those things that, once again, man, nobody ever told me I couldn't write songs. I mean, I never knew that I could either. But I mean, I don't ever remember thinking. I'm sure it was to impress a girl. That's most. I mean, that's most kids that get a guitar in high school. You know, I was an outcast and odd kid, and I thought maybe. But then before I knew it, it becoming that thing. The first song I ever wrote, I was 16 or 17, and I ended up playing it in school in front of the class, and it was called "We Don't Need No Government."
All right.
So that tells you the train that, I mean, as soon as I started writing, I mean, I guess looking back, I had a lot to say, you know, and I've always been a person that's always heavy in thought. During every moment throughout the day, I'm heavy in thought with a million different thoughts, and they're all going different directions, and no one can slow them down. And that being that, you know, I spent, like I say, all that time trying to just, I mean, I don't know, just I had a lot to say. I never knew that I had a lot to say. I just started singing.
Well, so Cody Lee, I mean, I feel like you give yourself too little credit because
Perhaps.
You know, it sounds to me like you had many adults in your life who were telling you can't do this and you can't do this and you're not going to amount to anything, and you have. And so I think that's a little different than luck.
Well, I actually put it in a song that I'll be playing here later. That nobody said I couldn't, and if they did, I didn't listen. And that's really the truth of it. I mean, there really could have been people yelling in my face telling me I couldn't, but I guess I never heard them, or I blocked it out, or thought why not, or my papa always told me if it's been done, you can do it. Some guy's already done that, or some gal has already done that, so that you know that can be done. So if you want to do it, go figure out how to do it.
So he's the guy.
Pretty much, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Sorry he's gone.
Yeah. It's been bittersweet, but
I
still carry him with me. I've grieved over it pretty well, and
That's good.
Well, I wrote a song about him, which we'll hear later on. I'm leaving you a lot of prefaces. I'm
all right. No, that's good. That's good. It's a good bait. I'm good to hear you talking about that. Thanks for sharing
thank
that.
you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's get back to some more music with Cody Lee Meece.
I'm gonna give these guys a little bit of a break here and sing you some stories. Testing. So I released a single here maybe a month ago, actually in conjunction with Mill Springs Studio out of Somerset. Well, actually Nancy, Kentucky, and this is a song that I kind of wrote in a bit of a desperate spot that honestly I'd forgotten I'd written and wouldn't remember until probably 6 months later on my phone trying to show somebody else that I didn't know how bad of a writer I was. And so I said, I was scrolling through my voice memos, and this is the self-loathing I'm working on, I promise, but it has been incredible. And so I'm scrolling through my voice memos, and I said, see, I don't know what most of these are. I bet this one's not even good. And I listened to it, and I was like, I hate to say this, but it's not terrible. And so that was enough to give myself, Dan at Mill Springs had asked if I wanted to do a single, and so I just happened to find this song again at the right time, and it's out there on all platforms. It's called Get Me Out of My Head Again. Yeah, running from the past means chasing ghosts. And Lordy, what I hate the most is the comfort that it gives I can't explain. So I try to in a song, dear, and you watch me struggle on, dear, in the darkness, for the dawn keeps me awake. And Lord, it run and show something, make a man feel tired. Especially when every damn mile's inside of his head. Oh, won't you get me out of my head again in an uphill battle that I just can't win? And Lord, it run and show something, make a man feel tired. Darling, get me out of my head again. Between the demons and me, I don't care for sleep, and I wonder if the Lord my soul to keep is a phrase worth praying at all if I lay me down. But I see you reach to me and it cools my nerves. Ain't a way I could say it that explains your worth, and it hurts sometimes, I know, just loving me. And Lord, it run and show something, make a man feel tired. Especially when every damn mile's inside of his head. Oh, won't you get me out of my head again in an uphill battle that I just can't win? And Lord, it run and show something, make a man feel tired. And darling, get me out of my head again. And Lord, it run and show something, make a man feel tired. Especially when every damn mile's inside of his head. Oh, won't you get me out of my head again in an uphill battle that I just can't win? And Lord, it run and show something, make a man feel tired. Yeah, Lord, it run and show something, make a man feel tired. Yeah, Lord, it run and show something, make a man feel tired. And darling, get me out of my head again. Yeah, running from the past means chasing ghosts. And Lordy, what I hate the most is the comfort that it gives I can't explain. Hey, thank you. This next song I actually wrote after a pretty funny conversation with a friend, well, actually a few friends one night. Michael, the bartender, and Rayla, and Brent Lover, and all at BBH one night in Richmond. And we had just had a funny string of conversations. And on the drive home that night, probably 3 or 4 in the morning, I couldn't help but think about all the conversation. I'd picked up so many like key things or taglines subconsciously as we talked, as this to try to write a song about the conversation. It was that interesting, and it was that off the wall. It was wild. And so I ended up actually writing this song, and to my surprise, finishing it. But this is called Stripper Love. Do I tell myself lies? Yes, ma'am. But only when I need relief. I've been getting real when I can. Honey, like you won't believe. Done made it through the seasons, hot and cold, and the better days ahead are still coming, I'm told. Yeah, I've been getting better at the going when the getting gets rough. But it's kinda like stripper love, now the glitz and the glamour are gone. And now I'm sitting by myself with an empty wallet, and it's getting hard on me and myself while you're blazing trails through my memory day by day. And the bottle on the floor says I'll be alright till I ain't. I've been learning how to laugh, ha ha. And when I can't, I just pretend like a bubble in a bath. I pop, drain the water and I try again. Been reckless and dumb, but a damn good time. Had a woman that I loved and I crossed the line. Yeah, unlucky I guess, but I reckon that's the way she goes. And it's kinda like stripper love, now the glitz and the glamour are gone. And now I'm sitting by myself with an empty wallet, and it's getting hard on me and myself while you're blazing trails through my memory day by day. And the bottle on the floor says I'll be alright till I ain't. Yeah, honey, I guess that it's working now. Take a breath and let it out, 'cause finally, honey, time for resting's come. And it's kinda like stripper love, now the glitz and the glamour are gone. Now I'm sitting by myself with an empty wallet, and it's getting hard on. Yeah, me and myself while you're blazing trails through my memory day by day. Oh, and the bottle on the floor says I'll be alright till I ain't. Yeah, the bottle on the floor says I'll be alright, but I ain't. Hey, thank you. So we talked about my papa a little earlier. Gary Meece was his name. And, he taught me a lot. He's responsible for, I guess, the song I'm going to play here in just a few. He's responsible for... Man, he's responsible for most everything I've done that's probably worth something, honestly. Him and Mama, anyway. And he was a dandy, boy. I wrote this song about the time he was really getting down and sick. I seen it coming. The writing was on the wall, and we'd watched Mama fade back in 2014. So I kind of knew. I tried to hide myself from it, but I knew it was close to time. So that's the reason I wrote this. And I actually got to play a little bit of it for him at the trailer one day. It was just me and him, and I said, "Hey, by the way, I've been working on this song about you. I want you to hear a little bit and tell me what you think." And I think he was a lot like me, or I'm a lot like him. He never gave himself much credit. And I think that's in light of his failures. I try not to repeat that. That being said, losing him's the second thing that hurt me the worst that I've ever dealt with, I'd say. First would be Mama. But anyway, this is called Memories of the Man. The strongest man in the world is slipping away. He's hanging on by a thread, and he's taking it day by day. The Lord Lord, just please be with him wherever his body lay. 'Cause the strongest man in the world is slipping away. He could build the baddest old small block you ever had heard. He had fists like 9-pound hammers, but all he ever needed was words to knock a man down to his knees and leave him face down in the dirt. And he could build the baddest old small block you ever had heard. So to have to watch the man that damn near raised me faith is just the kind of realization I didn't want to have to face. But now the cold winds are blowing and the clock hands start to slow. And it's got me feeling that, oh Lord, feeling I don't want to be feeling no more. It makes me sad. It makes me lonely. And it's another damn time I'll have to hang my head. And so to see the man become a memory makes me thankful for memories of a man. He was the life of the party and he never let nobody feel down. He said can't, never could, and you could only go as low as the ground. He was a man of the country and there ain't a chance in hell he was ever gonna move to town. He was the life of the party and he never let nobody feel down. Yeah, he had a heart for helping and a will that couldn't be broke. When he laid it on the line, you knew he wasn't blowing smoke. Yeah, he taught me not to steal even if I wound up flat broke. He had a heart for helping and a will that could never be broke. So to have to watch the man that damn near raised me fade is just the kind of realization I didn't want to have to face. But now the cold winds are blowing and the clock hands start to slow. And it's got me feeling that damned old feeling I don't want to be feeling no more. It makes me sad. It makes me lonely. And it's another damn time I'll have to hang my head. So to see the man become a memory makes me thankful for memories of the man. So to see the man become a memory makes me thankful for memories of a man. Hey, thank you.
All right. Well, we've got lots more music and conversation with Cody Lee Meece, but I'd like to take a moment just to ask listeners a question. Are you aware that both tonight's live stream and our live stream on any given Wednesday remains available online for you to view at your convenience? Well, it's true. So if it so happens that you're watching the live stream tonight and you have to step away, no matter. You can always get back to it and check out the whole thing. You can also share it with folks and let them know what it is that you like about Red Barn Radio. On our program next week, one I've been looking to for many moons is an artist who is a regional treasure. I'm talking about Sarah Kate Morgan. She's a singer-songwriter and extraordinary practitioner of an instrument which many play but few master. Tennessee-born Sarah Kate Morgan's been playing dulcimer since she was 7 years old. Within 10 years, she became so proficient on the instrument that she won, just out of high school, first prize at the prestigious National Mountain Dulcimer Championships at Winfield, Kansas, which also hosts guitar championships and fiddle championships. This is no small deal. Sarah Kate is also Talented singer and songwriter whose style reflects and honors life in Southern Appalachia. She's performed and or recorded with roots music giants such as Tyler Childers, Nora Brown, Alice Gerard, and Aaron Marshall and Carl Jones. Sarah Kate's work centers on a lived belief that art and tradition are living, breathing tools that foster hope, build community, and create change. Don't miss next week's program with Sarah Kate Morgan. I promise it will fill you with joy and usher in for you a new appreciation for this great instrument, the mountain dulcimer. Don't miss Sarah Kate Morgan in studio and on Red Barn Radio's live stream, 7 p.m. Eastern in North America. Back to tonight's Red Barn Radio program, we welcome you live on our social media platforms, broadcasting from the Arts Place Performance Hall here in the grand city of Lexington, Kentucky. Hey, welcome back, Cody Lee Meece, with one more solo number before you bring back the Poor Excuses. All right.
This song right here I consider probably one of the more important pieces I've ever wrote, at least concerning what I have to say as a songwriter, if anything. I'm one of those, I don't pick a side of politics and don't really care much to even hear about them or delve into them, because I think, as far as I'm concerned, growing up poor, left and right are the same bird. It's the same thing, and didn't either party ever help me not be poor. So that being said, until something changes, I don't believe anything's any different. So here you go. This is called Preachers, Teams, and Politicians. Yeah, nobody said I couldn't. If they did, I didn't listen. Don't spend your time wondering on the why. Yeah, credit, cash, or neither. Every stranger is a teacher. Freedom lies one step outside your mind. Yeah, we've none chose to be born for the highways that we've worn. Through the waves we've wound up on the shores. Yeah, sisters, friends, and brothers, with help from one another. Together we're far stronger than before. Yeah, together we're far stronger than before. Oh, preachers, teams, and politicians on each and every side of the aisle. Feed us promise after promise of wealth and a sweet by and by. Oh, now they'll fill up all their pockets while they'll aim us all like guns and make us think from one another is the only place to run. So let go of your hatred and give us all your heart. Hand in hand together is the only way to start if we're gonna make it. Yeah, now I myself committed many things I'd wished I didn't, though I had been warned a million times. See, I lived my life all wrong just to say it in a song, most of the time not even knowing why. Now see the where I rest my soul when I feel there's nowhere else to go. Well, it sure ain't much to look at, but it's cheap. See, they keep the rent near nothing with heartaches by the dozen, and nothing ain't worth nothing but it's free. Yeah, nothing ain't worth nothing but it's free. Oh, preachers, teams, and politicians on each and every side of the aisle. feed us promise after promise of wealth and the sweet by and by. Oh, now they'll fill up all their pockets while they'll aim us all like guns and make us think from one another is the only place to run. So let go of your hatred and give us all your heart. Hand in hand together is the only way to start if we're gonna make it. Hey, hey. Hey, you guys want to play some more music? Rolling. We're back on track here. Well, about as good a time as ever to introduce the band. To my immediate right, if you turn around, also your immediate right. I guess it depends on where you're standing, Mr. Logan, the man of Still Henry. Back here on the western shirt, also playing drums. Baddest mustache in the business, Mr. Justin Harris. Over here on the low notes, some folks you'll only see them with shoes on if it's wintertime. No need for a groundhog. We have Mr. Daniel Stroud. Heroes. So back home in Somerset, there's an open mic at Jar Flavor Wednesday, and you know, me and Daniel, we've got to be a part of some kids coming up and doing some music, and it's been really cool. And so, that being said, when you have young people looking up to you, it's a lot of pressure at times, and I didn't necessarily handle it well. And so I wrote a song kind of for those people to, to thank them for the flattery of considering me as such, but also to warn them of who they're looking up to and when, and to be careful of it. So anyway, it's called Don't Ever Meet Your Heroes. Just another classic case of don't you ever meet your heroes. Yeah, 'cause I don't need the pressure and you don't need to let them down. Hey, won't you wait a minute, friend? Let me ask you a favor. Yeah, keep your compliments thin and your admiration way down low. Let me begin by saying I ain't no savior, just another half-ass picker and a singer of them old sad songs. I ain't even been writing lately, Been waiting on a song to save me, just another classic case of don't you ever meet your heroes. Yeah, 'cause I don't need the pressure and you don't need to let me down. Hey! How do you measure a man who's standing 2 feet tall? Yeah, who had the world in his hands and he knew it and he blew it all. I hope that you understand what I say in my songs. Yeah, I give you every damn direction in the world that you never should walk. Left all my excuses in the past. I ain't ever looking back. Just another classic case of don't you ever meet your heroes. Yeah, 'cause I don't need the pressure and you don't need to let me down. Just another classic case of don't you ever meet your heroes. Yeah, 'cause I don't need the pressure and you don't need to let me down.
All right. Hey, Cody, you know what? I really love your phrasing on the electric.
Thank you, man.
There's some really cool stuff on that. It's fun. I mean, it's sometimes it's really good humored, and sometimes it's really sort of edgy and raunchy.
Thanks for catching that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people do, but I mean, a lot of my favorite sounds or even things in the world is spaghetti westerns and the scores along with.
Yeah.
And so even just the quirkiness of it all and how it almost loosely mocks itself as it goes through the pain of what even the song is about. And I love that lightheartedness of it. And it's one of my favorite places to write from, is to find the laughter in the pain somehow, somewhere, even if just a sliver.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, man, that's the only thing that'll save me. You know, so I'll make light of everything to the point it's almost, I'm sure it's frustrating for friends. I just can't take anything too serious. And when I do, it's usually pretty stressful and tense. So
Yeah. Well, you know, another guitar player who talks about that kind of stuff is Richard Thompson.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have, check him out sometime if you haven't already. So let's see, where do we want to go from here? Heavens. I think I would like to know if you might just talk a little bit more about that scene down there in Somerset. Daniel and I have talked about that before on previous shows, but I'd love to hear you kind of talk about what makes that scene down in Somerset kind of special, because, you know, everybody who comes here from there has the same thing to say. They're very tightly connected with that community. They're very tightly connected with the artists who are from there, and that they feel really nurtured artistically there in that place.
Yeah, that's the goal. I mean, and that being said, I mean, I'm not even a guy who, it's not like I'm on the payroll. I love music, and I got my start in open mics. I mean, that's where but there wasn't a Jarfly open mic when I was coming up in music. There wasn't that place to be free and expressive and to not be judged or chastised or criticized for just being unapologetically yourself. And so it's not only been great to get to be a part of it to any degree, but also to get to see these young kids come in there and not be told, hey, what you like isn't cool, or hey, do it this way, or hey, you know, it's just come in here and put your name on that list and get up there and do that. And if we can ever back somebody up or somebody wants accompaniment, 9 times out of 10, you've got a band that'll just fall in right behind you.
Yeah.
And we want to see everybody come down there and everyone push themselves out into the atmosphere and really, you know, find your thing and do it. And if we find out you do a cool thing and you're not wanting to do it, I mean, we're not going to be mean, but we're going to try to get you to do it, you know, because we want to see, I mean, we want to see everybody grow and have that freedom. I mean, you don't have to, but if you do a cool thing, I want to see it.
You know, it's really cool.
To a degree, I mean.
Sorry, what'd you say, Daniel?
Positive peer pressure.
Yeah,
Positive peer pressure can go a long way.
Yeah, indeed.
In getting people kind of out of their shells a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because sometimes that's all somebody needs is just that extra nudge to get outside their comfort zone. And shoot, you've got yourself a poet, or you've got yourself a songwriter, or you know, a comedian, whatever you have.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people have that awesome, amazing, explosive, like energy thing within them, and they just don't ever really get urged or encouraged to use it.
You know, I think a ton about the way that my kid. Well, I'm in education, so I work with young people. But I think so much about how my kids have expanded my musical horizons by the music they've introduced me to. You know, I guess I could have been kind of closed-minded to that, but you know what? My father was open-minded about that and listened to stuff that we put in front of him, and so I in turn did that with my kids, and they taught me so much. Have you can you think about some music that you've listened to that's sort of out of your wheelhouse, or music that really sort of stretched you? And do you occasionally go to that place occasionally so you don't get too comfortable sort of in the same pocket?
I don't do that for myself, but my friends do that for me.
Yeah.
I mean, probably best case in point, if there's something really cool that I'm into that doesn't sound like something I listen to, I probably heard it from this guy.
Huh.
And so we kind of, between us, we cover a lot of different genres of music, and it's really neat to kind of get to share those things with who's also a fellow songwriter, to kind of bounce all those things, because we're both sponges soaking up and trying to disperse other things. So if we get each other's ears on stuff, it can be really beneficial, I think. You know, and that's what we see more now, I think, in Kentucky music than ever, is people losing that, you know, worthless mindset of competition within music. And you've got more people that are seeing it as, oh, we get further together than we do apart. Like that's the whole thing. Yeah. It's by me helping you and you helping me, together we can both climb up. So if we've got 100 people doing that, well, how quickly can we climb up this ladder? You know, where's the limit to anything we can accomplish as human beings? You know, but you got to get people to break that whole idea of measuring art against art. There is no measurement for art. There's not this is objectively better than. I'm sorry to everyone in the world who thinks that their favorite is the best. They're not. That's why I don't have favorites. You can't ask me who my favorite songwriter is, because it's going to take 15 minutes of your life away, because I'm going to sit here and tell you 150 people that influenced me in music, you know, as far as what's the best. And so, you know, luckily between Scott and many other friends and my wife even, we listen to generally very different music. So, I mean, really all I got to do to hear something different is just pretty much just open my ears and look around, and there's something different right in my scope. And I think that's probably most people. You just got to roll your windows down at traffic, or you got to talk to that stranger, or kind of chime in when you see somebody walking by with a boombox. Like, what is it? Find those new sounds. Yeah. And listen to something that makes you a little uncomfortable. You might still not like it, and that's totally cool, but try. Just try it.
Can you think about a time when you've incorporated some music that you originally felt uncomfortable with, that you incorporated that into something of your own?
Honestly, my wife would probably know that better than I would, honestly. I don't know a lot this isn't going to make sense, but I don't know a lot about a lot of songs as far as what influence. I just kind of, they're all stories. But I mean, I'm sure everything I've ever heard has influenced me to some degree.
Sure,
I'm sure that everything I've ever heard, you know, and whether it's, I mean, if I turn on pop radio, I'm going to find a melody line, or I'm going to find a lyric line. I'm going to find something that I'm going to probably dig out of that, or be like, hey, that's pretty cool. So I'll change that, but that was cool.
So I don't know if it was, you know, if it is just pulling this from a song you wrote, or if it's something you said, but you'd rather die than play pop country. So
Death Before Pop Country. That's a group, a Facebook group out that my buddy Scott Yahtzee and a few others have kind of really helped prop up. They've been responsible for a lot of our successes, so thanks to them.
Yeah. Do you ever do you ever think at all about what the industry wants? I mean, I think that we're kind of conditioned to say, well, what the industry wants is just money. But I think it's also the case that sometimes the industry also is looking for something that's different, and it's also the case that sometimes following a little bit of what the industry wants, if you can do that without compromising too much, ends up becoming the means by which you end up doing more of what you like.
I think it depends on what you want out of music, really. If you have this dream and desire to be the next pop star, then, I mean, I don't know. But if you're in art for just for the sake of making art, I mean, I don't think one should concern themselves too much with what the industry wants. My thought on that for myself personally is, it doesn't matter what the industry wants because I'm going to be myself regardless. So if they don't want me, then there ain't no sense in me spending time figuring out what they do want.
Well, maybe the industry does want you.
Well, maybe
you
they
to be
do.
By yourself.
If so, it's far worse off than we even thought. We got a lot of work to do.
Excellent. I think we're going to end on that note, which is awesome. And I've had such a good time with all of you guys,
Well,
Cody Lee and Daniel and Logan and Justin. Thank you all for your generous performance. It's a lot of fun tonight. I know listeners are digging it, and I'm glad it's not over. So let's get back to some more music with Cody Lee Meece and the Poor Excuses.
I got to clean this one up a little bit. And luckily, I've played enough gigs I figured out how to. So here we go. Here's the PG version, or G, maybe? I don't know how they rate those things. Well, she hates my reckless drinking, and I hear it all the time. But it's the only thing that seems to keep her griping off my mind. Well, she sure can't stand my rambling, but I never could sit still. So I just assume drive this car till it falls right off its wheels. And I wanna get drunk, hey! I wanna catch a buzz. Yeah, I wanna stumble around till I'm falling down and do everything a drunkard does. I wanna get wild, I wanna get real mean. Yeah, I wanna call you in the morning and say sorry for everything. Well, her mama says I'm worthless. Hell, I reckon she's right. That's why she's at home just to watch them babies. Now I'm out running around all night. Well, you'd reckon a man of my living and all of them dirty old roads I've run, I might just think that home is the place to go. But I'm out here having my fun 'cause I wanna get drunk. Hey! I wanna catch a buzz. Yeah, I wanna stumble around till I'm falling down and do everything a drunkard does. I wanna get wild, wanna get real mean. Yeah, I wanna call you in the morning and say sorry for everything. Mr. Logan Henry. Well, I'm out there running them same dang roads that I swore I'd never run again. And as soon as I go to pour out all the booze, I find the bottom is my only friend. So I crack me open another one, pop a top and set 'em up now, Joe. Because my woman run off and she took the kids, and now I got no place to go. So I wanna get drunk. Hey! I wanna catch a buzz. Yeah, I wanna stumble around till I'm falling down and do everything a drunkard does. I wanna get wild. I wanna get real mean. Yeah, I wanna call you in the morning. Oh, I'm gonna call you in the morning. Yeah, I wanna call you in the morning and say sorry for everything. Oh, Hey, thank you. What'll I do with that guy anyway? There he is. This next song I wrote about falling into a campfire, and sort of. Yeah, well, what had happened was, to be fair, it was my fault. Anyway, here's the song that kind of came out of that. It's called Fall in the Fire. Leaving must be fun for you because you've done it before. Didn't figure there's a chance in hell that I could hurt like this anymore. But now I'm learning just how much this old heart can take, and just how high the flames can go once the fire is made. Oh, well, I reckon I could fall in the fire just one more time. She can wreck my heart and break my mind. Oh, honey, I'll be fine once I'm back on the mend. And you can brag to the world how you took me down, left me for dead in the lost and found. Oh, honey, I'll just drown all the embers in cheap whiskey and wine. Yeah, well, I've done it before, so I could fall in the fire just one more time. Guess the blood running through my veins must be gasoline, 'cause all it takes is a spark to start this old heart of mine ablaze. And once it's burning, well, it don't seem to wanna quit. I'll let you burn me just one more time, but now, honey, that's it. Yeah, I reckon I could fall in the fire just one more time. She can wreck my heart and break my mind. Oh, honey, I'll be fine once I'm back on the mend. And you can brag to the world how you took me down, left me for dead in the lost and found. Oh, honey, I'll just drown all the embers in cheap whiskey and wine. Yeah, well, I've done it before, so I could fall in the fire just one more time. Melting down ain't new to me. a time or two. Well, now everybody's catching on to the work you've done, and I don't reckon it's gonna be too long before your burning days are gone. But I reckon I could fall in the fire just one more time. She'd wreck my heart and break my mind. Oh, honey, I'll be fine once I'm back on the mend. And you can brag to the world how you took me down, left me for dead in the lost and found. Oh, honey, I'll just drown all the embers in cheap whiskey and wine. Yeah, well, I've done it before. Yeah, you know I'll do it once more. Yeah, well, I've done it before. So I reckon I could fall in the fire. Leaving must be fun for you because you've done it before. Hey, all right, thank you. This next song I kind of wrote, I don't really remember why I wrote this. I just remember that the band and I, we were on our way to Missouri or Oklahoma at the time. And I remember that we got there, and I'd been up all night writing this stupid song, and not even meaning to, while everybody else went to bed. And everybody woke up the next morning, and I said, hey, man, I wrote this last night. Wait to hear how dumb this is. And I played it for everybody, and it was Justin or Logan. One was like, hey, well, let's play it tonight. And so we went and played it that night, and we've kept this song in rotation. So sorry in advance. This is called Truckin'. Oh, well, I gotta keep trucking and a-rolling, rocking and a-reeling like I got a big fish on the line. I keep my two eyes locked on my wristwatch, slow talking like I'm never gonna run out of time. Yeah, and the tempo looking out my window kinda got a real slow rhythm, like a feeling that you get all alone. It's got me shifting real quick every minute I get so I get up and went, can't get the soul body back at home. Yeah, mama, I've tried, but I just can't take it, and I figure I can make it if I can only straighten up my body and my mind. I get a feeling in my toes when that old wind blows, and no matter where it goes, it'll tell me I can make it on time. Yeah, I guess the road of a dreamer I'm bound, so I'm headed for another new town. And it seems going down is the only damn direction I go. But I gotta keep trucking and a-rolling, rocking and a-reeling like I got a big potato at home. Yeah, I keep my three eyes locked on my wristwatch, slow talking like I'm never gonna run out of time. Yeah, and the tempo looking out my window kinda got a real slow rhythm, like a feeling that you get all along. Yeah, it's got me shifting real quick every minute I get so I get up and went, can't get the soul body back at home. Yeah, mama, I've tried, but I just can't take it, and I figure I can make it if I can only straighten up my body and my mind. I get a feeling in my toes when that old wind blows, and no matter where it goes, it'll tell me I can make it on time. Yeah, I guess the road of a dreamer I'm bound, so I'm headed for another new town. And it seems going down is the only damn direction I go. Whoa! Ah! trucking and a rolling, a rocking and a reeling like I got a big fish on a line. I keep my 3 eyes locked on my wrist while it's slow talking, like I'm never gonna run out of time. Yeah, and the tempo looking out my window kinda got a real slow rhythm, like a feeling that you get all along. Yeah, it's got me shifting real quick every minute I get so I get up and went, can get this old body back home. Yeah, mama, I've tried, but I just can't take it, and I figure I can make it if I can only straighten up my body and my mind. I get a feeling in my toes when that old wind blows, and no matter where it goes, it'll tell me I can make it on time. Yeah, I guess the road of a dreamer I'm bound, so I'm headed for another new town. And it seems going down is the only damn direction I go. Yeah, why does it seem going down is the only damn direction I know. Yeah, why does it seem going down is the only damn direction I go. Big bad love is coming to get me. Lordy, and I never thought I'd ever let it go so far. Hey, big bad love, what you want with me? Done wish I'd never seen you again upon a shooting star. Oh, but that star just couldn't hear my plea for big bad love. Honey, why you do this? You only come around long enough to just leave me alone. Damn, big bad love, I've been trying to push you away with every shot I take and every time I'm stoned. Whoa, but lately stoning only just leaves me more lonely. Damn, this big bad love. Whoa. Tell your mama what you done, go and leave me all the tears. Damn, big bad love, you believe in karma? I got a feeling that it's gonna run you down for a lot of years. Oh, and all that chasing, I hope it leaves your heart breaking like you did mine, that big bad love. Oh, well, it must be real nice being on your side and leaving me all the time. Damn, big bad love, I've been learning to take you along with a little tequila and some salt and lime. Whoa, but all this drinking can't stop me from thinking
Well, that's all for our show for this week with Cody Lee Meece and the Poor Excuses. You can see and hear Red Barn Radio worldwide as we stream live on the web on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern in North America. You can also listen to archive performances on Patreon, Spotify, iTunes, and so many more platforms. Remember, folks, every like, comment, share, and subscribe helps bring roots music, Southern style to your neck of the woods. Hey, and finally this, if any of our featured artists are performing in your area, get out and hear them live. They need you now more than ever. From all of us here at Red Barn Radio now to all of our friends worldwide, keep working together to be safe and healthy. And until next time, good night from Red Barn Radio.